560. The Answer.
So what, that moron from Minneapolis, you better check with your mother if she's got my watch. Ever tell you about that, Squirrel? Met some dingbat way back in the late 80s, in a strip joint. I was naive, had about a gallon of Chevys in me. Next thing you know, I'm out of Gucci watch, checking myself for all kinds of diseases. So ask your mother if she's got my watch. What he was referring to is the deal Trump had cut, or tried to cut, which I think was a big, huge mistake. The bridge peace in Afghanistan, where you try to negotiate with the people who yell this moron cry.
I really don't want to hear Allahu Akbar shouted again on my streets.
It's a war cry, and that's what that filthy scum was screaming when he killed our National Guards, the female National Guardswoman, the guy is hanging on by a thread. When he shot him, like everything else, Aloha snack bar nonsense. Shows you how twisted they are. And that deal was, for every one asset to the American military we'll release 5 of your Aloha snack bar freaks. Big mistake. Big mistake. And that's why now the Democrats scourge the scum in Minnesota. Ask your mother. I missed that watch. They use it against them as a sign of weakness. You can't bring peace here. Are you nuts? Are you not paying attention? There is no peace. And when it comes to the so-called terrorists here, I don't care whether they're from Afghanistan or Somalia. Do you not know Ilyana Omar's father? Ilyana Omar is the one who married the brother. Her father was the colonel killing the Somalians. And the morons come here and vote for her because they know she'll bring home the bacon. And they can steal billions of our dollars in the name of a fraud charity to go back to support the very terrorists. And if that's not enough evidence of what scum the Minnesota Democrats are specifically, they're almost as bad as the Chicago. Tim Walz got a little bit of a problem. Looks like, once again, a high-ranking official in the Tim Walz campaign stole money.
Now to what's being called devastating news. That's the reaction just in to crimes a former Minneapolis chamber leader is accused of.
Jonathan Weinhagen is facing federal fraud charges tonight.
Callan Gray has been digging into the accusations. She's live in Minneapolis right now with what she's found.
Tonight, there are new calls for accountability from those personally affected by the crimes he's accused of. One grandfather of a shooting victim calling it unbelievable.
The indictment says from December 2019 through June 2024, former Minneapolis Regional Chamber of Commerce president and CEO Jonathan Weinhagen embezzled, quote, hundreds of thousands of dollars from the chamber and its business members. It says he entered into sham contracts with a fake consulting company he created and used an alias, James Sullivan, and at one point opened a line of credit in the Chamber of Commerce's name.
Tim Walz, hierarchy, asset. He was all loved up with Walt. It doesn't matter because the Minnesota Democrats, like our Illinois Democrats, they don't pay any taxes. They don't give a rip how much money is stolen from taxpayers. They aren't taxpayers.
5 Investigates continues looking into one of Minnesota's most expensive programs. It's a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP.
Tonight, investigative reporter Kirsten Swanson reveals the state hasn't used a new tool aimed at cutting off the flow of taxpayer dollars at the first signs of fraud. Kirsten?
Kevin and Lindsay, by the numbers.
By the way, Minnesota, like California, like Illinois, like New York, they're bankrupt. They're subsidized by decent people, which is why we all pay for these scum. And they elect the scummiest and the dumbest to the positions of power.
Well, here we got a guy on Thanksgiving where we spent time with our families. We ate, we played Yahtzee, we cheered for football.
Talk about a Democrat. You know, I hate Thanksgiving, Squirrel. I'm going to tell you why. That's the definition of a Democrat wasted day, wasted holiday. Only one guy buys the food. Bunch of lombones show up at the house. They all eat there. They all pretend to be experts in something none of them can do, which is football or anything else. Sitting around with their big fat ass waiting for nighttime to come so they could eat again. What a Democrat holiday that is. Rick in Des Plaines.
How you doing, Sean? Can you hear me?
I can, but if you can, take me off speaker, buddy. Go ahead.
I'm right here now. I was away from the phone.
Right,
I was just laughing that Koran talks about the 72 virgins, and you were talking about that earlier. And I thought to myself, wouldn't that be funny as hell if those 72 virgins were not female?
Yeah, it would be funny. And if you've ever watched some of the videos, I don't think many of the participants in that nonsense would be offended by that. I mean, after all, the idea of a side broad in that neighborhood is something with a bell around its neck. But to each their own. You know, we're dealing with a certain kind of people. We're dealing with a certain kind of people who still dress like it's 622. And I don't mind anybody who doesn't want to practice that. Come to this country if you're sick of that. That's what this country's for. But what we have is the ignorance to pretend we can get along with this when they can't get along with each other. Like the caller who wanted to talk about Afghanistan. Here, more the crime on crime, the murder and the mayhem. Why? Because you're not from that certain corner of that cult. It's all just preposterous that we give it credential. We give it credibility. Oh, we lost them. I didn't hang up on you. He hung up on me.
I really don't want to hear Allahu Akbar shouted again on my streets. It's a war cry. The Hamas terrorists are shouting Allahu Akbar all the way through, as they are using a shovel to decapitate a young man. With every blow of the shovel, they shout Allahu Akbar. When they go into rape and murder all these young women in a room, they're shouting Allahu Akbar the whole time, and they find a young woman hiding under a table, pretending to be dead, and they realize she's alive, and they begin killing her. They're shouting Allahu Akbar all the time. And they're so elated. And they phone home. One disgusting young Hamas guy shouts from the phone of one of his victims, his father in Gaza, saying, I have killed with my own hands 10 Jews. Your son has killed 10 Jews. And the mother is put on the phone, and they're all shouting Allahu Akbar, and they're so proud of him. Indescribable.
Keep them all out of here. Let them live in the sphincters they wallow in. Jerry in Norridge.
Sean Thompson, how are you, buddy?
Good, handsome.
Kudos from all the Teamsters at Cinespace. Listen, this Tim Walz thing, okay?
Yeah.
How many more people are going to have to come forward to say that this jagoff was the one that was behind all of that stolen money? Now they're coming out that he signed some executive order in September, some anti-fraud thing. Well, dude, it was a little too late. The fracking money was already gone.
He's got the perfect cover, Jerry.
You got Pam Bondi on TV looking really pretty. Oh, we're going to investigate. Damn it, I'm tired of investigations, man. When is somebody going to go to crack in jail?
I'm going to help you with this. We have known for years when that moron was pretending to be president, was pretending to be alive, Joe Biden. They stuffed in hundreds of these sycophant scum Democrat judges. Those are the judges that right now are upending. These are the same judges that protected the mafia in our once great city. They protected. Look what they did to Chicago. Same crooked-ass judges. And no matter how many go away, they just bring them up from the bench. More Democrat scum lawyers. The problem is we keep pretending that they're Americans. Secession is the answer. It is the only answer. Secede right now.
Sean, when did the Republicans get their chance to put their judges in? Have the Democrats poisoned every court in this country except the Supreme Court? When is this shit going to end?
The Democrats will not survive in a decent area. You just got to find one, brother. You come by me if you want. That's the trick. It's a different world. The minute, I took the long way this time. The minute you get out of that state, the air is cleaner and the food tastes better because the Democrats aren't in charge. We'll be back.
Broadcasting from the petri dish of corruption known as the state of Illinois. In the upper Midwest, the nation, and around the world. This is the Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.